Gordon and his family, his people, sent word to Indiana that they wanted to be re-recruited. And, you know, there are some who say that it's unethical to recruit a kid that's given a verbal commitment. I disagree, especially when the kid sends signals that he wants to open up his recruiting. He's an 18-year-old kid. He changed his mind, and now he has committed to go to Indiana. That's a great get for Kelvin Sampson in the Indiana program.
There you see him sitting with his folks. Nice scene there tonight at Hoosier Hysteria. Let's talk about Kelvin Sampson, because you know him. I've known him for a long time in the Big 12. You heard him there say, "Dad, if you could see me now." You sense that being at this basketball school, although he downplays that, this is a special time for him.
Oh, it's a great time for him and his family. You know, Kelvin Sampson has always been a man of leadership positions. He played baseball. He was a catcher. He played football. He was a quarterback. He was a point guard in basketball. Went to Pembroke State in the state of North Carolina and started out small, Montana Tech, and then he wound up at Washington State and really built up that Washington State program. Then went to Oklahoma, and now at one of the top 5 programs tradition-wise in the country. And DJ White, a sophomore, is the guy that's going to be carrying a load for Kelvin Sampson in this program. White coming off a broken foot. He's going to have to tighten up his body, shake that rust off, but he can be one of the best big men, not only in the Big Ten, but in the nation this year.
And clearly they will play with more intensity than the Mike Davis team. Nothing against Mike, but this will be a different brand of basketball.
Well, I think they'll be a more disciplined team defensively. I think they'll go after things a little bit harder, not only on the glass, but when there's a loose ball, they'll be getting on the floor. They do have some good guards coming back with A.J. Ratliff, Earl Callaway, Roderick Wilmot, guys that have been through it before and guys that Kelvin Sampson can work with. But this is going to be a team they're going to work hard from day one, and today is day one.
And as you know, there are some places that you walk into, Rupp Arena, Chapel Hill, Duke, Indiana, that's special when you walk through those doors. Kelvin Sampson feels it. We feel it tonight. It's Hoosier Hysteria. Let's get out to Eric Collins and Doug Gottlieb at the Assembly Hall.
Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, the story in this building right now, obviously the excitement about Kelvin Sampson being the new head guy calling the shots, but also the fact that Eric Gordon is in the building, the rising senior, a high school player who's reportedly going to commit to this program. Your final thoughts on this guy reportedly coming to play for IU?
Well, I completely agree with Jay's comments that, look, if the kid is from Indiana and all reports are that his father reached out to the staff and actually came down here and want to meet with Kelvin Sampson and reopen the recruiting process, then it is Kelvin Sampson's job to recruit the best kids in the state of Indiana. Say what you want about Mike Davis, but if Greg Oden was on this floor right now, despite all the issues, he would still be the head coach. And that's how big it is when you have great players from the state of Indiana. You have to keep them home. And so this is the first in what could be an amazing recruiting class if they can get Derrick Rose, the great other guard, out of Chicago and start to build a new Hoosier tradition. But it's really especially large because you have now the best kid from the state of Indiana. And what sticks a sore spot in Hoosier fans is the fact that Greg Oden is going to be playing down the road in Columbus this year.
Well, Eric Gordon is a phenomenal athlete. There are phenomenal athletes right now with the Indiana Hoosiers. When we come back, Rod Wilmot, Eric Seward, they'll show up their skill set